Hello, and today we're going to be doing a calisthenic style exercise session for the use of the myofascial meridians doing some calisthenics. I am going to be using this bar. This is from the Arc that I use for my sessions using the Pilates equipment. And I also have thought of some things that you can use. A rolling pin would be fine. A broomstick handle would be fine. It's to extend out for your arm line so that you have a little bit of work. I find sometimes when people use their arms independently that they will alter it. So it gives you something to work off of. All right, so we're going to start with front line, and we're just going to go through a warm-up and then an exercise for each line. We're going to do 10 of each, starting with the front line. Let's just warm up nice and easily. Front line, back line, moving through that warm-up that we have on that level 1. Good, nice and easy. Just trying to get you to think about your body moving through space. I tell people, think of it as a piece of fabric moving through water. And just let the whole body move forward. Feel yourself grounded through your feet. Feel the heel of the foot moving first on the floor into the ball and then into the toe, and then move back. Good. Since these are calisthenics, they'll be done usually at a 1 count, or in that same, if we have some functional movements where there's multiple movements in one exercise, they may be broken down. Good. All right, first exercise, arms up, and we're going to alternate between it. So we're going to tuck and pull and lift it up. Arms down, tuck and pull and lift. Arms up, tuck and pull and in. Arms down, tuck and pull. Trying to get the abdomen to warm up. Pull, up, in, pull, up, arms up, pull. Good, rib cage to the pelvis. Get that abdomen to shorten. Try to find the movement of the neck, moving with the body. Good, arms up, good. And we're gonna add in the heel. So we're gonna take the foot, heel, good, 2 of those. Good, then arms down, 2 here. And 2 down. Good. From the side, arms up. 1, up, 1. Arms down. 1, up, 1. Good. Keep going. Arms up. I'm going to do 10 total. Good. So it'll be, we're at about 6. This is where I'm going to be really bad at counting and doing this at the same time. Good. Let's do 1 more. Good. We've got our back line. Good. All right. So back line, we're going to move back all the way back with this, all the way forward. Good. Moving the bar all the way down, all the way up. This is our warm up when we do our body reset. Good. And again, bring it forward. Good. So I do 10 alternately. Otherwise, you're going to be doing these forever. So we can do 5 total. Good. And back line is spinal erectors, hamstring, and calf. We'll do 1 more. Good. Calisthenics. Arms here. Up. Toe lift. And down. Toe lift. And down. Good. I want you to go straight lift up. Straight lift and down. Straight lift and down. Good. Now when you're coming up onto your toes, if you find that you're moving out onto your pinky toe, hook those heels together a little bit. Don't move them so tight that you're initiating that deep line though, but don't let those feet move outward onto the pinky toe. Good, let's do 1 more. Excellent. Very good. And big, these are big backline movements. All right, let's break it up and take a little bit of a break with an arm line movement. let's just move that left leg forward. Take that bar into one arm and just move the arm around without the spiral of the body. Just move the arm, just small circle. Bring it back, switch. Good. Now I like to switch and just watch your ceiling. Good. And don't go too big too soon. Work with it. Try to make that arm go naturally into its, and you notice I'm not spiraling the body. I have the opposite leg forward, which is not in spiral. Lateral line. So we're going to do, at the beginning, we're just going to hold the bar opposite, leg forward, move down. Let's do our warm up. Switch that bar. Good. So this is your lateral line warm up. Lateral line moves down the neck, down the rib cage, down the side of the waist, down the side of the leg. This is one of the more, the first movement lines to usually start to show signs of dysfunction, and then it may move spirally. So this is a nice one to really work. Let's do two more. Good. And again, these are one count calisthenics. This is really light. Good. All right. And then let's bring that bar behind the neck or in front of the neck, depending on your shoulder flexibility. And we're going to step sideways and move the bar. Same leg forward, same side downward. Good. So we're going to keep it simple. We're not going to let that body go against itself yet. We're going to keep it warming it up, not making these movements too big at the lower back. Remember, if that oblique is contracting right now to the left, the opposite side is opening, so we don't want to go too severe with it. Good. We're doing 10 of each of these. Good. Now try the opposite. So when you bring that right foot forward, you're moving opposite to that foot. So it's opposite. So it's a little bigger of a movement. You've got a little bit more opening to that. Good. Really trying to keep that body straight. It's a good balancing exercise too. If you have a broom and it's bigger, you may be able to move your hands a little wider. Just watch that you don't have too much stress on your shoulder if you do that. Try to keep it so that when the arms are out, that they're not moving the shoulder into that, what's called internal rotation, where the shoulder is rolling forward. All right, very good. Arms are up now. Let's move the feet about shoulders width apart. Really small on these. Really small. Good. And we're going to lateral line. Good. I have your feet apart for a little bit of stability, just in case you have a little bit of offset on those hips or a lot. We want just enough so that we're not going to be loading the right leg too much, but we're also not going to have the feet so far that we're going to possibly have the lower back into two different positions and have you overuse that or get soreness through that. Good. All right. Bring it down and relax. The biggest one is our spiral line. This is the one that we're going to have the most fun with. We've got a lot of warm-up now. So let's do our spiral line warm-up. I'll have you do this with the bar up. You're going to move that right leg forward and we're going to rotate to the right and back. Good. And this is part of that reset, the level 1 reset. You want to include these into your warm-up of your workout to really help get that body to balance at the attachment sites of the torso to the pelvis, but also to keep them strong through the lower body. When the hip on the right starts to tighten up, it's going to tighten up through that psoas, which is attached to both the leg and the back. So we're going to have two things to contend with. So we want to have a stable leg and we want to have a nice flexible torso. Good. And feel that warm up. Don't go too far. You'll know because you'll feel the legs get involved with it. Try to keep the legs out of it. Good, and let's go into the first exercise. Right leg forward. I'm going to have you bring the bar in the same hand, and we're going to lunge and back, and lunge and back. Good. We're just going to do 5 of these on each side, and then we're going to move into, notice I'm moving my head with this to help that flexibility on that neck, and then we'll alternate it. Good. Nice warm up. I started with the right because that tends to be a little bit tighter on people than the left. The left seems more unstable because of not having the dominancy to it, but the right is actually the one that has the more restriction at that hip. Good. Let's do one more. Hopefully that was 5. And now we're going to alternate it. Ready? So we're going to go forward and back. See, this is fun. Good. Arm up and back and forward. Good. Same thing, second side. Good. So you're getting used to that movement. Let's add that second arm in. Lift. Good. And that'll give you a little bit more foundation with those shoulders. Good. We'll do one more. And then I'm going to add the knee in. Let's add it, the front knee in. Lunge. Good. Push back off that lunge. There's a little bit of glute in there now. And I'm going to show you this final one through the side so that you have an idea. I'm going to turn sideways, and it's lunge. Rotate. Lunge. And rotate. Very good. All right, let's do some functional movement now. So we're going to add in some of the functional muscles. We'll start with glutes. Right leg forward, lift, back, switch, and right. You know, this is also really good for your brain coordination as you start to not do these exercises as often. Let me do it from the side. So it's squeeze and lift, squeeze and lift. Good. I like to do these on the X0 because they help the body to move in 2 different directions with weight, and it really helps get that diagonal balance. Good. Now I'm starting you with 10, but when you get stronger, do the ones that are easier for you for 15 or 20. Do the ones that are harder for less repetitions. Start with the right. All right, left foot forward, arms up, push and pull. Push and pull. Good. So this is what this looks like to the side. Push. Again, I started with the right because of that dominancy, just so that you could really fire that left leg. Good. Working pecs. Right leg forward. 5 on the left. Pec. Good. Trying to get that quadricep involved at the knee. Good. Let's do 2 more, and then we're going to alternate it. Great functional exercises. Good. Now we're going to alternate this. So it's going to be right leg, push, down, back, left, push, down, back, right, push. Let me show 2 from the side. Lift, down, back, up, push, down, back, up, push. Good. Keep that going. Lift, down, down. Good. Let's add a double chest press in here. Push, 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 push. Good. Excellent. All right. Let's take that press out and push, down, down, up, push. Good. One more. I didn't like that. Good. Now let's do those two together into singles. So we're going to do glute lift, glute lift. Good. Sideways. Good. Again. Good. Then knee lift. Push, pull, push, pull, push. Good. 10 of these. Good. Watch that you don't use that lower back and tuck into it. Keep that hip in a nice position and just lift that knee up without letting that back move. Squeeze that chest. Good. Now a little extra tip is when you're pushing, push the energy to the center of the bar. So let's add some function into some of the lines of movement. So we're going to add a squat in to, all right, so we're going to add a squat in to our lateral line. So right arm over, tap, lunge, back, tap, back. Good, so we've got lateral line, moving downward, opening up the second lateral line, and then we've got a little bit of our functional line moving into that inner thigh area and those outer thighs for the squat. Good. This is a really nice whole body movement. It's also good for your hand coordination with your brain. Can't say that enough. Rotate. So we're going to move the right leg forward. Rotate. Bring it back. Rotate. Good. And there's a nice spiral line. Good. You can bend the back arm as you move back, keeping the front arm straight. Good. And watch that hip comes forward, nice and even into that lunge. Good. 2 more. Right, front line with our bar, arms here. We're going to go up, flex the feet, look at the toes. I call this a belly roll. And all the way up. Good, we're going to do 10, but again, if these are a lot for you, go to what you can do. Now, if your neck starts to bother you, bring the bar to the center and take the other hand under your head, and then you can switch arms if you'd like at the halfway point, or if you have the bar that it's small enough, you can put it behind your head like this. Just don't pull up on the neck when you do it. But try to do a few, do 1 and try to really start to strengthen that neck. Good. We're going to bend the knees up. Let's do the whole front line. Extend and release. Extend. You can point the toe as you come down to exercise. Good. And again, if these start to become bothersome on your neck, just bring the hands behind your head. Good. And nice front line, working into that front of that quad and shin, into the front of the neck and that abdomen. Let's do 2 more. Good. And release. Right. Back line, arms out. Let's start with the lower body. We're going to lift the right leg, lift the left leg, and right. Good. Warm it up. Heels together, both together. Good. Let's do 5. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. Good. Now let's do just the upper body. We're going to lift just a little. Try to get that back to work. 2. 3. Now if this is too much for you, leave the bar down and lift the whole body up. Either one is fine. Good. Now we're going to do both together, leaving the bar down. Lift for back line. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, not too high, and 5. There's your back line. All right, let's do lateral line. So we're gonna do lateral line by flexing and bringing that bar down. This is the best. You touch your ankle and bring it all the way up. And 2, 3, 4. So we're just gonna go to 5, and then we're gonna make a different movement here. We're gonna take the bar to the center, and then we're gonna bend the knee in, and we're gonna come just a little off lateral line, and then bring it over. So now the bar is perpendicular to the knee, and then it's gonna be perpendicular to the floor when you come back and pull. So we get a little different of an angle. We're just gonna do 5 because these are a little bit more. So whenever you get a movement that's a little bigger and you split it up like that, it gives the body a moment to relax. Good. Second side, arm over the head on the long part, and we're gonna lift and touch that ankle and then bring it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, then choke up on the bar to the midpoint. It's gonna be perpendicular with the floor. We're gonna take it up, knee bend, and then over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. All right, spiral line. Let's start with just having the hands at the chest, and we're gonna take the feet flex so that the heel's on the ground, but the toes aren't. And I want you to just move the legs over to the right, bring them back to the center, move them over to the left. So when I move my knees over, I'm lifting one heel off the mat. So I'm moving my legs to the left, my right heel comes off the mat, and I roll around my left heel. And we're gonna move. And this is a nice spiral for the waist. Good, we're gonna intensify this by bringing the legs up, by bringing the arms up, and just doing a small movement. The lower back is off the mat. It's not flat to the mat right now. It's just a little bit off, so you're rolling over your sacrum. Good. One more. Good. Now, if you're really strong, try to split them, but don't let the shoulders move out of position with the torso, which means I don't want you to do that. I want you to just move the body in half. Good. Let's do 2 more. Good, and that's good. All right, and for the last one, we're gonna do a split with that spiral line. We're gonna bring the bar out as we move the legs opposite, grab the bar, and move it out. So this is great for not only identifying the oblique and quadratus lumborum to the lower back, but it's gonna help you actively open up that pec with the movement. Good. And very active. Now, whenever you have something this active with an area that you might be real tight in, you might experience some delayed onset soreness. So don't do too much. And my legs are moving all the way to the right, my arms all the way to the left. And when I come to the left and I cross over, my legs go all the way to the left and my arm all the way to the right. If you notice that you're not completing that, go just a moment, slow it down, and open it up and try to really get that body to open a little bit. Don't shortchange it. Notice those two, because there's your difference in your lower back right there. All right, and we're gonna just finish relaxing with a nice deep breath in to release the back with the bar over the head, and then exhale out. Good, and again. And that was good. You got really so much in there, because when you work out calisthenically with the myofascial meridians, you involve so much muscle and you really start to understand it better than looking at each muscle independently. I like to do each muscle independently for corrective therapies, but for exercise, I like to use the myofascial meridians. And right now, you should feel nice and long and open through your upper body. Your hips should feel more centered from your waistline, and your legs should feel a little bit more open. That was a nice start for some of the calisthenics that we'll be doing in the future. Thank you. Enjoy the day and put your bar back into your kitchen.